very good afternoon. It's the 27th of October 2023. Welcome to the lunchtime news here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Sirasa Nayaka. Before we take a look at the stories that we've got for you in detail, let's take a look at the headlines.
Fire breaks out at shopping complex in Petta. 23 hospitalized. Permission granted for NARA to conduct research with the Chinese geophysical scientific research vessel Shiyan-6. 2 cryptocurrency centers allowed to operate in Port City. EU calls for corridors and pauses for humanitarian aid. South Africa to face Pakistan at the ICC Cricket World Cup 2023.
In your top story this afternoon, a fire broke out this morning at a shopping complex on 2nd Cross Street, Petta. 23 people have been admitted to the Columbo National Hospital.
Newsfirst correspondent said the shopping complex with around 10 shops was completely destroyed. Around 11 fire engines of the Columbo Fire Service Department were deployed to douse the fire. Police, Air Force and Fire Service Department officers worked together to control the fire and rescue those within the shopping complex. The cause of the fire has not been revealed thus far.
On to another headline-making story. The National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency, or NARA, says that permission has been granted to conduct research with the Chinese geophysical scientific research vessel Shiyan-6, docked at the Colombo port.
Director General of NARA, Dr. Kamal Tenakun, said that the permission to conduct the research was granted yesterday afternoon. Accordingly, he stated that research teams will be dispatched in the next few days. Dr. Kamal Tenakun said the purpose of this research is to understand the impact of the ocean system on the seasonal weather, including the Sea of Sri Lanka. The staff of NARA says that Sri Lankans had the opportunity to visit the Chinese geophysical scientific research vessel Shiyan-6, docked at the Colombo port today. The Chinese geophysical scientific research vessel Shiyan-6 made regional headlines after India expressed concern over the movements of the vessel on its journey to Sri Lanka. But the Chinese research ship arrived at the port of Colombo yesterday afternoon as previously planned. The Shiyan-6 is berthed at the South Asia Gateway terminals of the port of Colombo. The Shiyan-6 is equipped with the latest and modern technology that can monitor the ocean bed, and it also comprises laboratories to test the samples obtained from the ocean floor. Weighing 260 tons, the Shiyan-6 can accommodate 60 people. The Shiyan-6 departed from Guangzhou in China on the 11th of September and entered the Indian Ocean region on the 19th of September.
The Colombo Port City Economic Commission has informed the Committee on Public Finance that it granted permission to operate 2 cryptocurrency exchange centers within Colombo Port City.
Officials of the Commission informed the decision when the Committee on Public Finance convened recently, and the Committee on Public Finance recommended that the opinion of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka be sought in this regard. The Committee on Public Finance also approved orders formulated under the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act. It was recommended that the Attorney General's opinion be submitted to the committee within 4 weeks regarding reaching contracts with existing companies active within Columbo port city.
A program to spread awareness among the general public regarding the protests conducted by trade unions demanding for a salary increment or an allowance of 20,000 rupees for state employees from this year's budget was held in Narayanpeta today.
Leaflets were distributed for the program organized under the initiative of several state sector trade union collectives.
We have been demanding for these salary increments since 2022. Ranil said the salaries will be increased during the last year's budget, but it was not increased. They were supposed to increase in September, but that did not happen either. All these are only limited to words.
Several teachers' protests were held today as well.
Teachers at the Sarakko Sugadananda Vidyalaya in Chilau protested in black clothing, opposing the tear gas and water cannon attack on teachers that took place recently in Battaramulla.
Miss Mogadada Kaluena?
Meanwhile, another protest was held in Galle yesterday demanding a solution to the retired teachers and principals salary issue. A group of retired teachers and principals participated in the protest. The Minister of Education, Susuprema Jayalalitha, says that a request to remove the teacher salary anomalies has been proposed to the budget. He expressed these views at the Sahasak Nimavum 2022, an awarding ceremony held at BMICH yesterday.
I have been continuously discussing with teacher associations and providing solutions to their problems. We have proposed in the budget to remove these anomalies that have arisen not only for teachers and principals but also for other services. The question is how to set aside some provisions and balance next year. It must have happened due to the lack of awareness, as no one knows what comes through from the budget and no one knew it was proposed in the budget too, than that it is necessary to do such an allocation. The Treasury will pay attention to it by considering the country's economy as well. We have fulfilled our duties. It does not need to be turned into a big problem. If I was there, they would come and discuss it with me, but unfortunately I was not there. We extend our regret regarding it. The Ministry issued a press release expressing our regret and apologies for anyone who was hurt or prejudiced regarding the incident. We will be meeting these trade union leaders next week. Regardless of who started the problems, the ones who are responsible for them should solve these problems. My time is highly consumed on solving these problems, and I have arranged a few dates for the discussions demanded by the trade unions. Therefore, nobody has an issue with me. I cannot agree on applying the same method to all problems while managing them.
Meanwhile, several protests were held last night opposing the increase in electricity tariffs.
A demonstration was held in Vaunia last night opposing the move to hike electricity tariffs. The protest was organized by the Samagi Jana Balawega. Another protest against the electricity tariff hike was held in Kamrugamur, Matara last night. The protest was organized by the Jatiga Jana Balawega.
The electricity price was increased 3 times this year alone. This government is financially burdening the people. The people do not have the freedom to live comfortably.
Another protest opposing the electricity price hike was held in Hatton last night. The demonstration was organized by the Jatiga Jana Balawega. A protest against the electricity tariff was also organized by the Jatiga Jana Balawega at the Kattu Junction, Bentara, Miriswatta.
The Samagi Joint Trade Union Alliance expressed the following views regarding the increase in electricity tariffs at a press briefing held in Columbo yesterday. The minister holds a media briefing and states that when increasing the electricity tariff, that the CEB has the right to increase the tariff as they wish, and that is how the decision was made. He also mentions that the future electricity bills will be calculated based on the cost. The corrupt people are talking. The minister should stop telling stories by increasing the electricity tariff according to the formula. We strongly allege to the political parties. The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna says that they are sorry that their minister has come to a state like this. They are not apologetic. At least give reasons or give a charge sheet when your member of parliament is a minister. Convening a media briefing in Bandaragama yesterday, the Samurdhi Development Officers Association expressed the following views regarding the issues faced in the Samurdhi sector.
Samurdhi Sangwardhana Departamentuwa Hasurona.
The political mechanism handling the Department of Samurdhi Development has failed to bring together all funds established from the Samurdhi beneficiaries since 2014 into one fund according to this Act. A necessary program for it was not made either. The work done for that purpose is that the Department of Samurdhi Development has a number of funds in hand, and they have used all these funds to organize various programs and fulfill political goals. Therefore, as a trade union of the Department of Samurdhi Development, we reiterate that we do not need funds again, but instead we need a process that will protect the public's money in these funds, a process of punishing those who destroy the money that has been insecure until now. Work should be done to make such a policy.
මෙතෙක් අනාරක්ෂිත වෙලා තිබ්බ මුදල් විනාශ කරපු ක්‍රියාවලියට විනාශ කරපු අයට දඬුවම් දෙන ක්‍රියාවලියක් අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ එවැනි ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් හදන්න කටයුතු කරන්න ඕනේ.
State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinghe highlighted the need for a program to broaden tax management. The government has given the required facilities to upgrade the system that is being used to manage taxes. We believe that the Inland Revenue Department will fully digitalize this system by the end of the year and will work on collecting the state revenue needed to develop the country by including everyone who is not on the system. From the other side, we will take measures to restructure state enterprises and bring them to a state where they are not burdening the treasury. The Jatika Janabalavegya is of the stance that the country's issues need permanent solutions instead of temporary solutions.
Ranil and the Rajapakshas are changing ministries. The people of the country knows that no matter what changes, those 222 in parliament will not change. We cannot employ temporary solutions to problems. They are trying to solve this crisis by employing the temporary solutions of the IMF. That will not change. The country needs a massive change in the society. That is what people are gearing up for.
Newsfirst with the people.
Leader of Janaseta Peramuna, Venerable Battaramulle Sirasa convened a media briefing in Ambilipitiya yesterday.
එදා අපි ලාම්පු එළියෙන් එළිය බැලුවා වගේ පාඩම් කරා වගේ ආපස්සට මේ ලාම්පු එළිය ගේන්න මේ
They have increased the electricity tariffs, making the education of students today difficult. The students are studying the same way we studied back then using lamps. Can't those in parliament hear this plight? Please take immediate measures to alleviate this burden.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉන්න තමුන්නාන්සේලාට මේවා ගැන ඇහෙන්නේ නැද්ද? මේ ජනතාවගේ ප්‍රශ්න සම්බන්ධව වහාම පියවරක් ගන්න.
An event focusing on the latest trends and challenges of the IT industry of Sri Lanka was held in Columbo yesterday.
The event, titled Global Tech Talk, organized by the Biznomics magazine, was held in Columbo yesterday. Global Tech Talk featured several industry leaders and tech entrepreneurs. The event explored the multifaceted nature of Sri Lanka's IT industry.
It has stabilized a bit, but as individuals in private sector, we find it hard to sometimes do recruitment and to hire the right people, and also dealing with day-to-day attrition. Improve our education infrastructure, and also we have to open up our educational system to outside world. So recently I saw that we are opening certain medical degrees to other countries. It's a very good initiative. So if we develop our education system, then we can get foreign income. Remote working and freelancing. It's a very good thing for brain drain. So why don't we allow and create the infrastructure necessary for those people to work from Sri Lanka without sending them to other countries? But there should be a national policy governing that.
IT professionals and students from several schools participated in the event.
The United States says it has struck 2 facilities in eastern Syria, claiming they were used by Iranian forces and affiliated groups.
According to a statement from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, following a series of drone and rocket attacks against U.S. forces in the region, the U.S. carried out airstrikes targeting 2 facilities linked to Iranian-backed militias and eastern Syria on Thursday. The statement said the facilities have been used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and affiliated groups. Austin described the strikes, which were ordered by President Joe Biden, as narrowly tailored in self-defense, and emphasized they are separate from the ongoing conflict in Gaza. He directly accused Iran of having a role in the attacks on U.S. forces. The Biden administration has carried out strikes against militias before, but at a time of enormous tension, the U.S. is looking to send a strong message to Iran and the militias not to escalate their attacks and spark a wider conflict in the Middle East. The region is on edge as the Israel-Hamas war, which was triggered by Hamas's brutal terror attack on the 7th of October, continues. Earlier Thursday, the U.S. announced it is deploying about 900 troops to the Middle East, with the potential for many more. The U.S. has also moved 2 carrier strike groups to the eastern Mediterranean Sea and an amphibious-ready group closer to Israel in the waters of the Middle East. The U.S. strikes follow a growing number of attacks against U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since October 17th. As of Thursday afternoon, U.S. forces had come under attack at least 12 separate times in Iraq and 4 separate times in Syria, resulting in 21 U.S. service members suffering injuries. The Pentagon said the injuries were all minor and that the troops have returned to duty. 1 U.S. civilian contractor suffered a fatal heart attack as a result of a false alarm at one of the bases in Iraq.
The Sri Lankan embassy in Israel says that arrangements have been made to send the remains of Anula Ratnayaka, who died during the Israel-Hamas conflict, to Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan ambassador to Israel, Nimal Bandaras, said that the body of the deceased will reach Sri Lanka tomorrow morning. He said the embassy is working on finding out whether the other Sri Lankan who went missing in the conflict in Israel is dead. In order to confirm this, the tests will be done with the help of the DNA samples of his children.
Convening a media briefing in Battaramulla, the EAPI organization pointed out that the government must pay more attention if they plan on sending more expatriates to Israel.
අපි ආණ්ඩුවෙන් ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා ඊශ්‍රායලයේ රැකියා කරන සේවාවන් වල කටයුතු කරන ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයින්ගේ ආරක්ෂාව තහවුරු කරන්න කියලා තවදුරටත්
We urge the government to assure the safety of expatriates hoping to work in Israel. The government must ensure the safety of those who are planning on leaving the country to work in Israel. Sri Lanka's economy is at a position where the people have to even go to hell to earn a proper income. Therefore, we must first ensure the safety of those planning to work in Israel. There have been numerous instances where expatriates are becoming helpless. Those incidents are being reported. Follow-ups on those incidents are not taking place from the side of the authorities. The failure to intervene in these matters has affected Sri Lankan expatriates.
කිසිම දෙයක් පිළිබඳව නැවත අමාත්‍යාංශ මට්ටමින් එහෙම නැත්නම් නිලධාරීන්ගේ මට්ටමින් පසුවිපරම් ක්‍රියාවලියක් සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ පිළිබඳව මැදිහත් වීමට තියෙන මානසික තියෙන දුර්වලතාවයම බලපාලා තියෙනවා විදේශගත ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයින්ට තමන්ගේ රැකියා තෘප්තිමත් භාවයකින් තොරව කටයුතු කරන්න.
The official ICC Men's Cricket World Cup India 2023.
The ICC Cricket World Cup match between South Africa and Pakistan will be held in M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai, India today.
South Africa has won 4 out of the 5 matches played so far and is in the second place in the points table. The only match they lost was against the Netherlands. South Africa will enter the field today with batting lineup which includes Quinton de Kock, Aiden Markram and Heinrich Klaassen. Foreign media reports that Aiden Markram will lead the team today instead of Themba Bavuma, and spinner Tabriz Shamsi will play for the team today. Pakistan, led by Babar Azam, has won only 2 out of the 5 matches they have played and is at the 6th position in the points table. Fakhar Zaman, who is suffering from an injury, is likely to be called up for today's match, and Salman Ali Agha will join the team instead of bowler Usama Mir. Pakistan and South Africa have played 82 ODI matches, of which South Africa has won 50 matches. Pakistan has won 31 matches. Today's match between the two countries is scheduled to start at 2 p.m. Sri Lanka time. Cricket fans can catch all the action via the MTV MBC network, the official broadcasting rights holder of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023. The matches can be watched on TV1 and www.sirasatv.lk. In addition, the match will be aired via YFM as well.
But the rest of the team, don't get me wrong, you always wonder how they perform in the stage towards them. But what about Pakistan? Pretty much moving sort of in the back of the
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Senita Senanayaka. Take care and stay safe.